We've done it, ladies and gentlemen. The last episode of Tailosive EV podcast.
And we're ending how we started with just 3.
Ooh,
Yeah,
take that
with
mic.
33% EV ownership.
33.33333.
It feels good that I am now the
Otherwise, you have to worry about a
majority
penny.
of the person who is.
That's
God,
true.
The penny, don't you?
Can I just say how much I appreciate you, Nick, for all of the number crunching? For those who don't know, Nicholas, as quiet as he may be on EV, still crunches all of the division.
I mean, I have to.
Of course, I get
the
99%.
4680s and the 2194s and the 3356s.
That's it.
And
That's it.
Yep.
Wow, you really got them all down.
I'm glad I got them all down.
But no, like, obviously, it's very difficult to do the math and figure out how to give me 99% and everyone else has to split that 1%. But Nick makes it work. Thanks for laughing. Now people won't
the
believe
math
that.
occasionally adds up, as our co-host Mike found out that one day.
So, do we think we've done the most shows this year? Is that safe to say?
I think that's
When
safe
did we
to say.
start this?
I think there have been a few. We started this.
I'll check.
Was it
Last
2019 or 2020? I think
Well,
this might
we
be our
did
first
start-
Okay,
year.
well, it's
It's
easy
not.
to count.
It's our second year.
because 2020, I remember I was out of state with my family, and that's when you sent me the first EV
Yeah.
podcast joke where you were like,
Okay.
we're gonna start our own show. The first episode was in 2020, and we had, I can count it right here, 42 episodes in 2020, and now we're on 91. So yes, 2021 had the most EV podcasts.
Yeah, we did not
Easily.
have an EV episode every time we had a tech episode, especially
No.
with not including the recap, the special events.
We
but,
did a lot of recap events. Yeah.
There were some times where we did not just do an EV, but this is still the most EV that we've done. We technically started this idea of branching off started in 2019 though, when we just found
at the very
ourselves.
end
We
of
kept
2019.
talking.
Yeah, we just kept talking. We never shut up.
Especially
and
after the Cybertruck.
especially after the
Cybertruck inspired the whole thing, I think. We owe a lot of credit to the Cybertruck.
We
but
do.
That's why the color scheme is
well,
silver.
we gotta
Wondering.
we gotta emulate this show to be like the tech show. So let's talk about Dogecoin being supported on the Tesla merch page.
Okay, first of all, NFTs. Let me talk to you about NFTs.
Non-fungible Teslas.
They are non-fungible Teslas.
I would buy one of those.
I don't see any value in it, Nick. Not see we reversed.
I will
our-
say, Elon's meme about NFTs made me laugh pretty hard. That was the first meme he got me out loud laughing.
the one he
for.
did yesterday, I think, or 2 days ago.
It's like a therapist talking to a patient, and he
Yes.
goes, "Are these NFTs? Are they in the room with us right now?
I love it.
they-
I love it.
Are they in the room?" I don't know who made it, but I found it through Elon. So
I love it.
That's good.
not all his memes make me laugh, but that one did. I think the only way I would buy Tesla merch is through Dogecoin. 'Cause it's kind of pricey, but people have sent me Dogecoin. I have not bought any, but I appreciate the donations. It would be kind of perfect to just, pick a buckle or a whistle or whatever they
Speaking
got.
of, my
at the
cyber
moment.
whistle is in the mail. Yay!
Wait, right now?
It's going to get here on Tuesday. It just shipped yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Not in the
we'll have to see
mailbox,
it next
Drew.
year.
Just it's in the mail transit.
Gotcha.
It's in the FedEx,
It's-
so maybe
it's
that's not
shipped.
even the mail. It's in the FedEx.
Did you pick up a buckle?
A buckle? No, I did not get a buckle.
You look like a guy that would rock a solid belt buckle. Just saying.
Just because I
know,
live in
you've kinda-
Texas does not mean that.
Yeah.
Oh, it has nothing to do with Texas for me. You're a guy who would rock a mean belt buckle. Oh yeah.
You would have a solid "don't mess with Tesla" Texas.
Don't
belt
tread
buckle.
on my Tesla.
I want a 4680 buckle.
Don't
It's
tread
just
on
the-
my Elon.
The copper
That'd be a good looking
circle
belt buckle.
picture, and just put that on the front.
I want the
And people
plaid
would be like, "That
logo
looks stupid."
belt buckle.
Ooh, a circular plaid logo would look cool too. Huh?
Or I get the diamond shaped
Okay.
one and it's a Cybertruck. There you go, Elon.
We already got the crypto discussion out of the way. Did Tesla have a good year? I'm gonna ask the same questions.
No, actually, GM had a much better year.
He's giving the exact same answers as tech. No.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. What does the stock say? Because everything's based
What
on
does the
What
stock
did the
say?
fox
Well,
say? Do 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 do.
I don't.
They had a
Wow.
strong.
That is
Oh my
old.
god! I did not know that. I do know
Has
that. but I don't
Tesla
remember.
stock ever had a bad year?
They did bad this year. They had a strong jump at the beginning of the year, and then
But it's stronger now.
it is stronger now. But in March, it tanked. It climbed again for a quick second.
Well,
it was
yeah. Everything tanked in March, but yeah.
of 2021. I'm talking about 2021.
I think so.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I think.
it was at its lowest in May. Wow, $500. What?
What a
That's-
bargain.
What a bargain!
I know,
ladies and
because now I'm
gentlemen.
sitting here thinking like, and I never even noticed an impact.
Yeah.
I did not
Mine's
even
all
know.
kind of bunched in with a bunch of stuff, but yeah, I'm very happy with how it did this year.
I would say they had a successful year. No, I take that back. No, I'm mad. No, terrible
No.
year.
Why was it terrible?
I don't have my FSD. We have they killed more versions of Model Y, kept upping the price
Oh,
on
that's true.
everything. We have no updates on the Cybertruck. Nothing's launching on time, and all they did, the biggest thing that they did this year was give you a cool little yoke for your Model S and X with a slight redesign. And they had Plaid finally drop, and that was it. And they updated some services on their prescription tier if you wanted to do prescription. Yeah, subscription. Excuse me.
It's a
I'm so
subscription
mad. I need
prescription.
medicine. I'm so mad. I just need to take. No, it's a terrible year, but the growth has been great. Yeah.
I would say great year financially, terrible year for delivering. Unless
year for
you're, I
factories.
guess you're counting on Tesla delivering on, you you ordered a car and they delivered it to you. They did that fine, but in
What if-
regards
what if
to
they
what
canceled?
we thought, they canceled Plaid Plus right at the beginning.
Oh my
so
God,
the Plaid
you're
Plus
right.
didn't happen. The 500-mile range Model S that we thought was going to come out at the end of this year
yeah.
didn't happen. At the beginning of the year, we all still thought this is the year of the Cybertruck, 2021. At the beginning of the year, they also said we expect Tesla Semi deliveries to start in 2021. It might actually at the last second.
People
But,
who pre-ordered thought they were locking in on their FSD.
Oh yeah. Well, that wasn't this year, but they got
that's
the
even
dose
worse.
of reality this year.
Oh, that pain is even worse then.
Yeah, I felt really icky about that. That felt mean to me. So, in case Nick, you probably missed this story,
I'm
but
completely
if
lost here. Please alliterate.
when you ordered a Model Y, remember when it first came out? Which trim did you order? Was it the cheapest one?
Give me a minute. Let me look it up. It was.
I'm pretty
It was
sure.
not the cheapest one, and I don't think it was a Plaid.
Oh,
or,
okay.
the
No.
performance. No, it was a
definitely
performance.
wasn't.
That's what it was. It was a white performance Model Y. That was what it was.
You got
But
a
I thought-
performance?
I thought
Jeez.
I could afford a $68,000 car 3 years ago. That was really
Okay.
cute.
All right. Well, at that time, there was also an option for a long-range rear-wheel drive Model Y
Okay.
that they never made. But
Yes.
there were people that ordered it with FSD and had been waiting all this time, years for I want my rear-wheel drive Model Y, and I locked in my FSD price at $7,000. So now Tesla has started reaching out to those people saying, we're not going to make that spec. And they were like, well, can you honor my FSD price now that the Model Y is like $8,000 more than it was back then? And I thought I was going to get this car eventually, and it was a lot cheaper back then. That's why I reserved it. And Tesla just said, no, you have to pay full price for FSD.
Wow.
So they gave $2,500 deposit
Wow.
and waited for 2.5 years.
Wow.
And I don't blame them for waiting, because there were several times where Elon was like, we're going to do a single motor long range later, like, because standard range is too low. So it wasn't like they said way back in 2020, like, yeah, we're not making that one. No, they didn't reach out to these people until recently to tell them that trim isn't happening. And I don't know exactly the wording the website used at the time, but I'm pretty certain people thought they had locked in their price. That's a lot of money to put down. And if
that
it
makes
has the purchase
me
price
about the Cybertruck then.
Exactly. It's the year of worry. I think that's the running theme.
That's the
but
title.
just
the year of worry.
financially, I should keep prefacing that. Financially, Tesla's done great. Okay, they've been extremely profitable. I think this the first like full year of profitability, or was 2020 pretty profitable too?
It was their first quarter of 2020. They were profitable.
Okay, and they've been profitable ever since then.
Yeah.
And the last quarter was the most profitable of all time. So financially, great job, Tesla. You've done wonderful managing the chip shortage. You've done wonderful managing your battery supplies and ramping vehicles and delivering more vehicles than you've ever delivered. That's all great. But in regards to what we thought we were going to get in 2021, I would say this was a pretty disappointing year. We didn't get the Plaid people were looking for. The track performance of the actual Plaid Model S wasn't as good as the prototype specs, and it's still a great vehicle, but it's just the first time Tesla ever unveiled a design and didn't deliver or exceed the specifications, which is what we normally know them for. You know, Model Y beat specs, Model 3 beat specs, the Model S and X, the real world specs were better than the unveiling, but not with the Plaid. That was the first time they didn't. And the Model X took freaking forever. They said it would start delivering in April, and it didn't come out until like September, I think. And we obviously, the biggest loss is we didn't get the Cybertruck, which is what Tesla unveiled the Cybertruck with, late 2021, and that got pushed back. And all the most exciting things happening with Tesla is mostly coming from like drone footage flying over things and Tesla not telling us, but someone else finding out about it. So, yeah, I can say it was a bit of a disappointment.
Truck, yeah, you're right. Everyone else's coverage is what made Tesla exciting, especially this last 6 months of the year. But
yeah, we thought Berlin would be online by summer. Granted, that's not really Tesla's fault. It's more to do with the government. But we also thought Texas would be online sooner than it is.
Totally. My original prediction was mid 2021 for Giga Texas, July of 2021.
Same, me too. Yep, me too.
That didn't happen. Put that in the W's. I mean L's.
It's got
opposite of a W.
There's already I'm excited this morning because Joe Tegmeyer's been flying near Giga Texas, and he's at the 4680 line, and he's showing equipment on the inside, and he's saying they're probably starting 4680 production there. But again, it's all just sources. It's not word from Tesla or anything.
I have trust issues.
Yeah. Oh, and you're totally right about the prices. Oh my God, I don't think any of us would have predicted the Model 3 Y, S, or X would be as much as they are now.
Gosh, it's crazy.
Not like this. Yeah, no, absolutely not. To say that the Cybertruck could theoretically be the cheapest vehicle. No.
It's ridiculous.
No.
Now people are like, I hope it's under 6 figures. That would be kind of nice. But I guess we've gotten a lot of Elon tweets about the Cybertruck that have gotten us hyped. That's probably
but
the most exciting. But
it's the most grain of salt thing I've ever seen, because it's like, I can't take it at face value anymore. I've been let down too many times. I just want commitment to something. Not saying that you're not working on it, but like, all right, this is, what we were asking for. We spent the whole episode talking about it, but I just wanted to know what a final design of Cybertruck was going to look like, and I was like, all right, that's a good year. Let's just wrap it up there.
Just a JPEG. Just an NFT.
Just one
JPEG. If I have to pay to look at it, I won't do it, but I'll wait for somebody to leak it.
That's the first NFT I would buy. First image of production-ready Cybertruck.
Oh, man.
But the NFT includes the Cybertruck as its exclusive thingy.
If you buy his NFT, it comes with the locked-in FSD price.
Okay, so that really, now that I hear that FSD price wasn't honored, it's really making me worried about my Cybertruck reservations. I'm trying to fit this in as many times as I can before the end of the year, folks.
Of course.
Naturally.
The fact that I have
paid.
3 Cybertruck, we do get, I get paid. I mean, Drew gets 99% of the revenue, but then I get an amount per. Right. I'm worried about the Cybertruck.
Right.
I'm just here because I have no friends.
That's correct.
It is still true, Randy, even though we're talking to you. This is still true.
I didn't say you were my friend, Nick. I said I don't have any friends. So I just...
Exactly. We are not friends.
I just put myself here.
We're brothers.
Yes. So you're concerned your FSD isn't locked in.
Yeah, I'm not just the FSD, but the price in general. I mean...
Oh, that price is long gone.
The price is... I'm going to be very excited if the quad motor's under 120K. Honestly, like,
I think I will push back there.
No,
I'm gonna say that's very likely.
Under 120K, I'd say 120K.
I think it'll be under 100.
You think it's gonna be under 100? The quad motor?
Oh no. Yeah, I don't know if I've done this on the podcast. My prediction is 90,000 for the quad, 65 for the dual.
No. See, they are not.
First of all, the motors are not that expensive.
No, it does not matter. They can make a Cybertruck for $300,000, and there'd be a lot of people willing to shell up that much money for a Cybertruck.
I used to not believe that, Nick,
well, I agree
but
with
then
that.
People are buying NFTs for that amount, so I think you're right.
Well, Tesla, you're right that demand is not the problem. I think that you would certainly lose a ton of orders if you announced pricing like that. But actually, the genius thing that they might be doing...
it's not an EV podcast
because here's the thing.
Start scratching.
Tesla can probably legally get away with saying, if you modify your Cybertruck order, we don't have to honor the FSD price you locked in.
And
but
by
what
the way,
we've seen
none
now,
of the models that we are currently selling are available. So you have to modify your order to get a Cybertruck.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say, is that they could decide we aren't going to make the tri-motor. That's a discontinued model. We are going to make the quad motor, which you have to pay full price for.
Motor.
Right. So I guess it would be $100,000 with FSD is what I'm suggesting. But
yeah,
I don't think it'll go that crazy high.
At this point, we are almost still in the same. I feel like we're pretty much in the same position as we were this time last year as far as Cybertruck waiting. We're still waiting for the Giga Texas to come
We're
online.
in the same position as the unveiling.
Pretty much. I mean, we've had a few extra years of knowledge and sadness and heartache, but yeah, we're pretty much still in the same. We're still waiting for Giga Texas to start making Model Ys. I mean, I know that they're getting closer now, but they're definitely closer than they were this time last year. But
it's been 2 weeks away for 7 months.
It's been a long time. And then after they do the Model Y, they have to get it scaled and be making 1,000, 3,000 Model Ys a week. It's going to take time. And then they can build a new building to build Cybertruck because, by the way, all that floor space looks like it's going to be Model Y anyway. So it's like...
Oh, really?
That's what I heard.
I didn't think that.
Okay. Well, maybe not. Don't listen to what I say. I'm not the EV guy.
I'm
the space guy.
The whole southwest corner of the building that they're wrapping up now, I don't know what that's for. They've received permits for every step of the Model Y production except the batteries, which is in the northwest corner. So everything like the stamping, the general assembly, the seats, the paint shop, all of that's, I think, ready for Model Y.
Well, they don't
I think
need that much room
Southwest,
to make a Cybertruck. I mean, you can pretty much do it in a closet of Giga Texas.
That was my thought. I thought the southwest corner would be for the Cybertruck.
Okay.
But
well,
I could be wrong. You might be right.
They still got to figure out how to make the Cybertruck at scale, and then they got to do it. Right? That's like at least a year, 2 years away. Like, I'm sorry, I'm really sad to say that, but like it's going to be so long because it's not the big priority at the moment. And if it takes a while,
my hope would be restored if at the next earnings call, you know how they have the different models and they say in development or under construction or in production. If Cybertruck moved to in construction, I would be like, oh, okay, it's coming, it's happening, it's getting close. But so far, it's always just said in development.
Interesting. But yeah, all that to say, it's going to be really expensive by that point. Like, I'm imagining with a little bit of inflation, a little bit more part shortages, a little bit more of this, a little bit more of that, $120,000 is going to seem a little bit more like $100,000.
So basically, you're saying it'll be like twice the price.
I would not be surprised. $120,000.
Just about twice the price.
Mm-hmm.
Where does that put you, Nick? Are you still interested in a Cybertruck now?
Honestly, no.
What price would it have to debut at for you to be interested?
Hold on. This is actually a real big conversation that I've been having with myself for over a month now.
Okay.
With that whole discussion a couple months ago, me looking at Model Y and Model 3, it's like, yeah, that's a lot of money to put down on a car. Wonderful. But what does that do?
That's a lot of money.
I know. It is. But, like, if that's a lot of money, then what is this quad motor Cybertruck going to be? Like, a lot of money. And, I mean, you can buy a used car for so cheap and maintain it for so cheap that it's like, yeah, gas, but, like, I can't make that financial argument. Like, even Randy has shared with us that if he knew how 2020 was going, he wouldn't have got his Model 3. And that makes me think, like, yes, there are definitely gas savings. There are definitely, going to be some time savings of being able to not have to drive the whole time. That'll be nice. Not having to go to the gas station, that'll be nice. But, like, just can't justify it. Like, I have a singular focus, and I don't think the Cybertruck fits into that at the moment. And it's sad to say, but I think I have my dream car. It's a 2008 Ford Escape. Very sad, but it is a dream car.
I don't think you know the definition of dream car.
Yes, I do. That was, okay, way back through even like middle school, that was my dream car, a Ford Escape. Like, I wanted one of those so bad, and my first car was my dream car, but at the time it was my dream car. The Cybertruck wasn't out, so,
That is the
Go,
most
Randy. You're
medium
noodling on something.
salsa flavored answer. Like, aim high for the
Dream car means money doesn't matter. Like, you have infinite money. What car would you drive?
Infinite money. I want a 6-wheeled Cybertruck that has a pressurized cabin that I can use to drive around Mars.
There you
That's
go.
what I want.
That's more like it. I got it. That's a dream car.
But I have the
dream.
car that I want, and I'm not feeling like, even if the Cybertruck came out tomorrow for between $100,000 and $120,000, I'd be like, it's not worth it. Like, I would
What
have
about
to go
40?
I would have to go into serious debt to go anything over $40,000, and it's like, that is not worth it. There are so many other things I could put my money in, and like a car, no.
Cybertruck would appreciate over time.
I mean, I could sell
sure.
it as an NFT and probably make my money back.
Non-fungible truck.
It just has a sticker that says not fungible.
Yeah. What a fun time we lived
seriously
in.
sad to say that. Like, I love the Cybertruck. The design's amazing. I would love to drive one day. But it is, at $40,000, it was like, okay, this is gonna be expensive, but I can make $40,000 work. Like, I could justify $50,000. Okay, like, that's more, but like, I could do $50,000. $100,000, $120,000. No, thank you. No, thank you.
What if single motor was for selling it updated to 55?
No,
Too much?
too much.
Too much.
$50,000 is like the max I'd ever want to spend on a vehicle. Like,
Maybe there will be a decent used market
that
someday.
is like, what is the average salary in the U.S.? Like, around $50,000. Like, that is like about the average like year's worth of work. Like, that is a lot of money, and more than that, no. Especially when you can just go buy another, used car and make it last another 3 or 4 years, stick a few $1,000s of parts in it, and
That will
keep
be cheap.
making it chug. And
So have you refunded all your deposits?
no, I'm still holding out hope.
There's still hope. There's a
There's
little
still
bit
hope.
left.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
But you still need 3 reservations?
I know.
Even
I
for
have been
that
thinking about
glimmer
that.
of hope?
I don't necessarily need the $300 back, so
Okay.
let
okay.
Tesla keep it for now. I don't know. I guess probably a financially wise decision to put it in Bitcoin or something.
I could think of 10 other things I would rather put it in.
Okay.
Man, we
Well,
really are
besides-
redoing tech.
but-
All right, let's talk about crypto.
So I thought I am probably remembering incorrectly. I thought Randy said he wouldn't have gotten long range if he knew where 2020 was going. Did you mean you wouldn't get a Tesla at all?
If we had the magic crystal ball that told us what was about to come, I would have not bought a Tesla.
Okay, it was the whole thing. Got it.
Yeah, no. If I would not bought it 8 months before the whole world just shut down like that. Nothing about that made sense. The thing I struggle with, I've talked in different mediums about this, but I have like buyer's remorse mixed with imposter syndrome.
Boom. Dum, 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 dum.
That's how I feel with my relationship with Tesla, specifically the product, the vehicle.
Yeah,
it's why I can't bring myself to keep. Currently, I don't feel comfortable making even YouTube videos on the Tesla experience because it's like I have buyer's remorse and I have imposter syndrome. It's like I'm not being honest with myself because the whole like I wouldn't even think I was gonna be on the East Coast right now. Like the whole thing changed.
Oh yeah.
Brittany and I had a very clear path of what our 5-year objective was going to be, and we are so far from that it's. I kind of question everything about it, but not in the sense that I regret it, because you make the decisions based off of the information you have at the moment. But given the opportunity to do it again, I would not have done that. That's money I would have definitely put it into the stock instead, and I would have been better off. I would have been better off for it. I don't know how much of it is for show and how much of it was what you were struggling with, Drew, but the whole working from home thing holds a lot of weight, and something that especially this year being my first year working from home, I related a lot to, about not feeling a need to have the vehicle. And when I do drive, I'm the happiest I am. I'm having the time of my life, and there's no regrets about any of that stuff. But that's not my lifestyle anymore. I'm not commuting to and from. I'm not in San Diego traffic anymore. I don't have traffic. I don't have anything. So everything that I wanted the car to be is kind of been obsolete. It's been null and void. I take it out just to keep the tires moving, and the tire pressure lights don't keep coming on or something. And outside of that, and even more so because of this whole safety score thing, like I have to drive so weird. I haven't driven the same since October 1st. I've been driving like a scared person who's going to get his permit taken away because I can't do certain things. So I can't even enjoy my car for the stuff that I like to do with it. I'm not saying I'm driving recklessly, but there are just things I don't agree about the score, and that's just my preference, I guess. But having the knowledge that I have now, and if I was back in time, I would have waited. I don't know what I'd be waiting for, because I would not have made a purchase yet, because right now everything's too expensive. Right now, FSD is way too expensive. Like, there's so much variables happening simultaneously that makes me go, I don't think it's ever a right time to buy. So maybe it may very well be that I would have waited for the Cybertruck still, because at least with something like that, like it's a utility vehicle, it's definitely a head turner, so people are still going to look at it the same way.
Oh yeah.
And if they honor the $7,000 FSD price, then it would have been with something where I said I'm not paying $1 over, was it 10K max, and even then I just can't. I drew the line in the sand for me at 6,000, which is why I bought the car when I did. But
that was such a long time ago.
So, yeah, now people are like 6, and back then I'm like, oh, 6, and it's
yeah,
weird
that was
how,
a lot.
And now people would kill their firstborn.
Never seen him laugh so hard after
bingo
saying
card,
that.
ladies and gentlemen. The joke got cut from the EV podcast.
So.
Oh my god.
But to my point.
Not the second born, but
I would not the second born. I would wait. I would probably wait for Cybertruck. But the thing is like just so much has changed. So and a lot of it, what I struggle with my own issues that I have with the Tesla is just introspective, you know, buyer's remorse because of the pandemic. Like I would like to think that I make smart decisions and make smart moves in my life based off of having everything else as a priority, like taken care of. And so that's a fancy way of saying that I'm not stupid with money, and I feel like I really wasted $50,000 in a way. I say waste kind of aggressively. I don't really mean waste, but I do realize that in the sense that's like that's money that could have been towards another house, that could have gone towards paying off our first one, could have gone in retirement. I could have done anything with that. Go to school if I wanted to. You know, there's just so much more utility out of the dollar as opposed to having my car just sit in a garage 4 to 5 times a day out of the week, and I'm not getting the most use out of it. But then to play devil's advocate, I'm debt free. I would have bought the car regardless. So
and the car's probably held its value incredibly.
And I'm sure it's
well,
held value, but I don't buy it for the value's sake. If I do it because it's what I want.
No. But it's not, in my view, it's not money wasted because you could cash out and probably get all of it back very easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with that wrap. That's non-fundable
And the FSD,
Tesla right
which is
there.
now worth FSD is now worth $10K, and you have long range put together. So like it's if you really really wanted to cash out, I bet you could if you wanted.
I don't think I'll be in a situation where I need that money.
Right.
God willing, I'm not in a situation like that. But if it is,
you don't need it, but it's there. I'd say
there.
it's not like a normal car where the value's tanked and
no,
it's
yeah.
not
I
worth
mean,
anything.
you can't. People will buy it. We've talked about. People will buy my car just on the premise that they can buy it same day and get it same day.
Yeah, just early. Yeah, they don't have to wait.
They don't have
10
to wait.
months.
Yeah. So, I'm still an advocate. Obviously, I'm a big supporter of the Tesla vision, and all I did was put my money where my mouth was at the time where it was feasible to do so. So I don't regret it. I just have that imposter syndrome because it's like I'm not. I feel like
What
I
is that
made
term?
it.
I've not heard that before. Does it just
Imposter
mean like you're wondering what could have been? What
I feel
what
like
ifs?
imposter syndrome is like. I honestly, here's how I would interpret that. I have a level of insecurity that why would anybody listen to what I have to say? That same notion I've said. Like I think, well, why are people listening to this show? You know, we're just nobodies, and immediately I think like there's a million other people out there with way more knowledge and background and foresight and all these things that can add a better value of insight to this subject, but people go out of the way to listen to us, and I feel weird to say that this is a job, and so that's an imposter syndrome. That's like I'm a nobody, you know. I don't think I can't be bought in the sense of like you can't give me a verified check mark. I can't be famous and then my mentality like, yep, I'm God's gift to the world. That's not how I'm programmed. So I have imposter syndrome that like people actually care what we have to say and they ask us questions, and I get weirded out by it because it's like I'm it's like a parent. I think like the parents don't have all the answers. They're just figuring it out as they go along too. So I feel like I have that in the sense that I got my car and I look more important than I am when I'm not. You know, I'm a guy in flip flops, and I remember saying I'm a guy in flip flops, shorts, and a mohawk driving this car, and people think I stole it. And that was a real thing. And that's a level of imposter syndrome. That's like, I don't feel like I belong in this class, whatever that class is supposed to be. At least when I'm being critiqued on. And I feel the same way towards the Tesla Experience channel. That's like, why listen to what I have to say when there's so many better YouTubers out there that have better insight and are just smarter than me in this field. So that's how I define imposter syndrome, that I'm somewhere where I shouldn't be, and any moment I'm waiting for somebody to just call me out and be like, you ain't anything, and then I'll be like, okay, the stress is gone because now it's like I don't have to try to be something I'm not. Followed by buyer's remorse because I'm like, oh my God, we moved across the country. That's not an easy thing. That I had to take about a month off the show just to get our life resituated, and I was so stressed. I got more gray hairs from it. It was such a stressful time. Like, what are we going to do with our property? Are we going to sell? Where are we going to? We didn't even have orders until less than a month before we moved out. So I'm like, can I take my car overseas? That's a problem too. So now I'm like, what am I supposed to do with my Model 3? And then it's like,
Randy, it's almost like minimalism is the way to go. The more you have, the more you have to worry about the things that you have. You just have nothing.
Yeah, but in the grand scheme of it, it's like, why would the Model 3 be so important when there's bigger things currently that's affecting my life? And then again, devil's advocate is that like, this is a car that I've wanted since the first time I saw it years ago. And I started saving towards it, and I made all the right decisions. That said, I was like, okay, I'm with the car. It's just a personal thing for me, no more than getting the green aluminum Apple Watch. It might be difference in price, but it's the same sentimental value to me. That it's like, that's what I want, and I made all the right steps towards it. So it's just that weird battle, and maybe I'm slightly jaded that they just stopped rolling out the FSD at the same time and when I'm in scope, and I feel like I'm being punished for something I didn't do anything wrong. So
yeah. How long have you had the perfect score now?
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Wow.
Well, that's okay. Yeah. In 2 weeks, you'll get the beta.
It's always perpetually 2 weeks. I still like Tesla, despite what you guys renouncing your love.
I'm not renouncing it.
I need to announce I am worried about the Cybertruck, but I am getting a Hummer EV because I heard that those have an amazing ability to have a Cybertruck in their infotainment system.
Nick, as your friend, I have to strongly, despite everything I just said right now, if I was to ever be in a market for an EV again, it's Tesla or bust right now.
By Nick's logic, the Hummer is cheaper.
True. True.
They've started deliveries. It's $113,000, very affordable. And there's probably no heat pump.
I mean,
I'm just
who
guessing,
wants that
but
heat pump? Get that thing out of there.
I know Rivian doesn't have one. Goody.
Goody.
I think Nick is fairly in the nicest form, impulsive with what he's interested in and what he likes. Yes, he's very reactive to new information. And I think if Cybertruck starts showing up around Starbase, he's going to spark his interest because he'll see one, he'll get inside one, he'll play with the screen and then be like, okay, I can not that bad.
$120,000 in my couch cushion somewhere. Oh, wait, I don't own it.
Nick, that type of mindset, do you think?
I just don't think it's 120.
That's if you found that many coins, I'd be very impressed.
I just need to find one Bitcoin.
Oh my God!
No.
Nick. This type of sporadic behavior of feeling towards something. Do you think you have like a level of bipolarness towards products?
I know I have a bipolarness towards you. I don't like you. I love Randy.
I know you love me though. Yeah, you do.
Nick's like, it's a good thing you're cute.
I'm talking to Kika there.
Right.
He's in the cutest little ball right now.
He's just here for Kika, really. That's what Nick's.
That's why I'm here. I'm just.
That's why we're all here.
That's why we're all here.
We're all here for Andy's dog.
Yeah.
No, I'd agree with that. I mean, I typically have very, very sharp reactions to. If anything, I'm probably neomorphic, where I am extremely put off by or hesitant to new things unless they're shiny. So if they're shiny new things, then it's good. So yeah,
our future generation, ladies and gentlemen, shiny.
Why are you pointing at me? Drew's only 6 months older than me. Okay, you boomer over there.
Yeah, you're the baby. You're the little.
Just because I can't grow facial hair doesn't mean I'm the baby. Jeez.
Come talk to me when you get your first gray hair, young man.
Oh, I do. It's right. It's somewhere over here.
Space gray hair.
Nick, I can smell your aftershave.
Oh, you can?
No,
you think
can't.
I have to shave?
Uh,
Not have to,
Yeah.
but you choose to.
I think you're right, Drew. I think Nick would, if he's got to just. Actually, I think that for everybody, if anybody got to be hands on with the Cybertruck, they would have a change of a lot of opinions.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you must know.
Who's have hands-on experience with the Cybertruck, Randy?
Yeah.
Yeah. It changed my mindset.
Yes.
I became.
He's like, yeah.
I went from indifferent to oh no, this is a thing. Like I want this car, but I get to put all that pressure on Brittany, and I remember distinctively the that change in mentality the moment I actually got to see it. Just the prototype. I'm like, I get it. I get the intent behind this status symbol, this marketing message, and I'm here for it.
It's interesting.
You were going to ask me a question.
What question?
You were going to ask me a question. I don't know.
Oh, what was I going to ask? I think it's interesting. I'm just going to ramble and see if the question finds itself. But
Okay.
Okay, Michael.
am curious if how much change happens when you actually experience a vehicle. Like, it's so much different than the specs and just looking at a picture of it or watching a video about it, because like you guys rented that Model 3 years ago, and that's when the switch flipped for me. I was probably, before you guys rented that car, in the exact same boat Nick is in now, where he's like, you know, they're cool, they're impressive, but it's a lot of money and I can't throw that much money towards a vehicle, which I can get a super cheap used car for. But then when I sat behind the steering wheel and I drove out of that parking lot and then turned down autopilot, that's when I was like, oh my God, I'm witnessing the future. This is what all cars are going to be. And this company just figured it out way before everybody else did. And that's when I started talking to my wife about it. Like, okay, so when can we jump on this
Drew,
train?
You still don't have one. And that's what I mean. Like, as excited as I am, as much as I would love to have a Tesla, Cybertruck specifically, but any Tesla, it's like I have a singular vision for my life, right? And I am going to be a dumb person if I don't put all of my resources, time, and energy into that singular purpose. And if I waste time or resources, futzing around with a fancy car, it's like, well, that's unnecessary. I don't need that right now. That's not a part of critical path, as Elon likes to say. And so if I have that, like, I'm so happy I have that vision where I can be like, yes, I don't think I need a Cybertruck. Now, you're right. You guys are both totally right. The minute I see a Cybertruck in Starbase, you guys are getting a FaceTime call and videos and pictures, and I'm going to be probably needing to bring I should actually just stock extra underwear in my car just in case I see it one that day. True. I can change.
Just in general, but
yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's got to be several people you know and work with Cybertruck reservations, right?
Oh yeah. Like reservations.
And they're definitely getting one.
And there are lots of people that I work around that have driven the Cybertruck, but I mean, it's not like I'm any closer to it.
Right. Like Justin Bieber.
Yes,
Justin
Bieber.
No.
Baby.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
This will be a fun last episode.
I love how this episode is like
podcast.
Exactly mirroring the tech podcast.
We are mirroring tech. So
it's a shadowy reflection. But the difference is, the reason I don't have one is because of the same logic Randy has for his remorse and imposter. Like, originally, I thought, I'm just going to do EV content on the tech channel because I don't think I should do a dedicated channel unless I have the car. And then we were actually close to buying one. So I started the channel, started making videos on it, and I was like, this will just be the little Easter egg, couple first videos, and then a month into it, I'll take delivery, and that'll be what kind of kickstarts the channel. That was the thought process. And then, of course, we were like, COVID hit, and we were like, it's probably smarter / safer to invest more in retirement, invest more in our house, and we prioritized all those things first. And we were like, okay, let's build up our investments and let's pay off the house. And now we've gotten to the point where, okay, we've quarantined for quite some time. We don't spend much time away from home, and we're kind of getting sick of it. And we're ready to travel again. We're ready to go to new places, and we're ready to. The other thing that's changed is this year, a lot of my family, close family, has moved out of state. And of course, lots of people are moving. Friends are moving. Family is moving, and they're all
the Earth
mostly
is moving.
Within. The Earth is moving, of course, and they're all mostly within drivable distance. But every time we talk about doing a road trip, I loathe having to do it in a gas car and having to drive the whole time myself and having to pay these crazy gas prices. So it's not a financial move really at the end of the day. I can understand, like, my car was super cheap and operating it is not that expensive. The gas is more, but the insurance is less. So when we get a Tesla, those are just going to switch. Now the insurance is a lot and the gas is less, but end of the day, it's going to cost about the same to operate. But it's one of those desires, and it's one of those things, just like with our love of Apple products and having certain standards with what we want out of our tech. It's like, to me, I've used it as an example of using a typewriter in a world where laptops exists. That's what it feels like to drive my current car. And it's not like your typewriter is just at home and you're frozen in time. It's like, I'm seeing these things all over the place. Every time we go out, we see 4 to 5 Teslas. And then, of course, whenever we hang out or whenever I see Mike, we're in one and we're around them and we try them out. We see the beta, we do the autopilot stuff. So it's like, if you were in a world where laptops were real and they existed, the modern day, but you come home and you've still got a typewriter there and you're like, well, this works. This is a lot cheaper. This gets the job done. So that's the difference I feel right now with non-Tesla ownership versus what I'm excited for and why we're saving and why we're kind of putting our foot down on, okay, we keep ping-ponging on this plan. You know, originally it was end of 2019, and then it was like, no, let's prioritize this thing, and now it's end of 2020, and then we get to the end of that. Actually, let's focus on this investment thing. So we've basically reached the point where we feel safe enough about everything that we don't think it's a bad idea. Financially, are there better ways you could invest your money and get a higher return? Probably, but I don't want to have to buy another gas car. That's kind of what I'd like to avoid if at all possible, and that's what's going to happen if something goes wrong with their current car, which is currently fine, but you know, I'd rather not wait to find out, be like, oh crap, I guess I need to buy a Tesla now, and we weren't ready for it, because I've spent, you know, just like you, in the past, thousands of dollars on trying to get a combustion engine working properly, only for it to break again within a year. And brake pads and oil and smog checks and the fluctuating gas prices and all that. So it's the whole ownership of it, the experience is what I'm not a fan of. And I know that the cost savings aren't really there by switching to a Tesla, but the quality of life and the quality of transport is what I'm buying into.
You'll be a better human being after you buy a Tesla.
That's correct. That's why Randy's better than us. So is Mike.
You'll eventually see your insurance start to go down anyway, just because life of the vehicle, your time as a driver is.
It's going to take a long time to get as low as our current car, though.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I'm not saying you'll get like that, but the offset, whereas gas prices seem to keep going up, your insurance is going to go down over time. And that's
I sure hope so.
You can't avoid either of them, like taxes, but insurance at least is still a liability coverage for you, a protection for you, where gas is just the means of you getting from point A to point B, where you'll have a way more efficient means of doing it once you have your Model Y or whichever variant you decide to go with at the time. I think I don't recommend anyone's in the market for a new vehicle. First thing I ask, like, can you afford an EV? Because if you can't, and EV I mean Tesla, I only recommend a Tesla right now. I would tell anybody to get, a Tesla. If they don't mind waiting on the wait list, If you can get new, or even better, get something new. Get Tesla's version of certified refurbished. You know, buy
I don't think it's that certified.
Yeah, it's not certified, but to my point, I would still push people towards a Tesla. I have pushed people towards Teslas, and it's not because I'm trying to get 1,000 miles. It's that it sells itself. It's either you get it or you don't. And every person, even the skeptics, all get it after they sit in the vehicle. They go, okay, I actually now understand. My father-in-law, Ford F-150, built and made in America, nothing else. And
in Mexico.
He doesn't see it that way, and he is very anti-Elon. He does not like him at all. And I was like, just get in the car. And he's like, I'm not doing it. Just get in the car. He gets in the car. I take him for one drive, and he comes back a little bit softer in the voice now, a little bit calmer. And he goes, and he's like, it's a good car. That's the best. He goes, I'm not dissing on the car. It's a good car. I just don't like the person who's in control of these things. Like, I get that. Put your politics to the side, sir. This is art. This is the future.
NFT.
Non-fungible Teslas. Everywhere. I love today's themes. So yeah, I think everybody should get a Tesla. And you're right to like the next car you get, Drew. In my opinion, and actually you too, Nick, it has to be a Tesla if it's in the next 3 to 5 years.
I'd say the next new car.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
I'm still saying.
That's what I meant.
Yes, next new car 100% will be a Tesla. I guarantee that. But I'm probably not going to be buying a new car anytime soon. So.
Yeah. Well, until they.
I think you're
making
the right call. You know, I'm not your accountant. I don't know your finances, but
this is financial advice.
My finances are amazing. They're wonderful. My finances, when you take a look at them, actually, frankly, they're amazing.
Nicholas, will you look at this? Okay.
I will look at this, Nicholas.
I will give you financial advice.
Okay.
Ooh.
Just
Nick, for the record.
You can sue Randy if my financial advice.
Drew has already taken all my financial advice, and he lost millions on Doge, and I still apologize every day to him about that. But you know, you win some, you lose some. But just keep saving your money. When the time comes and you're ready to make you'll know when you know. That's the thing with me. I just knew when it was time to pull the trigger in 2019 for me. And we were already talking about me getting a Tesla before that because I was so close. Like, I have to have it. I just felt that urge. But when you know, you know. And it could be a Model Y. It could be the Cybertruck. It could be something that hasn't even been announced yet. You'll just know when you know. And maybe even, I don't think this will be the case, but just maybe it won't even be a Tesla for you. Maybe you'll be so hopped on Rivian or Aptera or something even new.
I really need a Hummer. Like, I've been adding it up here, and I really need a Hummer.
I would bet
guys, GM is leading the transition here, so we have to.
They are leading. We
have to acknowledge
that
a
lot with 15% market share.
I will bet
going on here.
I will bet you one Tesla stock that you are not getting a Hummer as your next vehicle.
Okay, what's the return policy on the Hummer, Drew? I feel like I can make an easy Tesla stock here.
No, there's no.
I feel like it's GM, so the return policy is we'll crush it and not pay you back the money.
There are no more return policies, not for Tesla, not for any of these suckers.
Nick is going to look up leasing pricing on the Hummer. No.
Well, the Tesla share that Randy's going to give me might be more valuable, so...
I will wager.
It'd be pretty close.
I don't have
actually, never mind.
No, you already did. This is live on the air.
I don't have a Bitcoin to wager, but I have a Tesla coin, a Tesla share, a piece of paper that says
lease. We need a lease on a $113,000 car. How much is that? Let me look it up.
Oh gosh.
I know for a fact. Just even
No, that's
that's
pretty
why.
common, actually.
That's but this is why I'm even solidifying it that next new vehicle, I should say new, will not be an EV Hummer, and I will wager one Tesla stock because it's not worth, even for you to spite me for that, it won't be worth it for a long time. Mister, I have to make responsible decisions and I can't go in debt. You won't do this. Your next vehicle, whatever it may be, will not be an EV Hummer. That has the backing of one Tesla share.
All right.
Make that two.
All right.
Watch me win like a really random like Omaze sweepstakes or something.
That's the weirdest thing you said that. That's the weirdest thing. I literally had a dream a few months ago that I won an electric Hummer.
Okay.
And I didn't know what to do. I was like, well, I guess I have one now, but I think I remember being more excited that I could sell it. I was pumped because I was like, I'm definitely going to sell this and buy a Tesla.
But let's make a video on it first.
Yeah, we'll do a video. I will say the crab walk thing is not off-roading, but there was a video someone posted where the curb kind of cuts into your lane and the road gets smaller, and the Hummer was coming into the thinner part of the lane, and he just to the side and kept going, and I was like, wow, I'm glad the Cybertruck's going to have that because no one's going to buy the Hummer. But that's the crazy thing. GM is like, we have delivered the first Hummer. I was like, to who? Who the heck
To who?
thought that was a good deal? Who's like, 113,000? Okay.
All right.
That sounds about right. I need what? How did they deliver one and there's no EPA report on it yet?
What, Drew? They're leading the way in EV adoption. Okay, you can't ask these questions.
I want to know the miles per gallon equivalent of the electric Hummer. It's got to be amazing.
The price per dollar.
It's like 1 kilowatt hour per mile or something.
Gosh.
I bet it is. They said it does 350, but
no,
I don't believe them.
That's with the additional trailer that has just a bunch of batteries in the back, and you plug it in.
It's with the very first time they rate it before you take it off the lot, before you even get in it. That's the one and only time. And the moment you move it just a little bit, it goes from 350 to 275 at best. And that's only day one. Day two, it drops to 210.
The degradation is like 10% a day. Yeah.
Oh,
it's not good.
I'm saving the world.
I'm saving the world. Grrr, crab walk everywhere.
I really want to see
this is so much better for the environment.
I really want to see GM's dumb TV ads. They're like, for that person who really wants to save the world and yet still run over the Priuses.
Dude, I still laugh every time I watch the Hummer commercial. They were playing it in the Discord the other day. I was laughing so much just because it comes in on fire and it's like at this unstoppable speed falling from the sky, and then it just lands in the street in this giant explosion. It's like so comically large that there would obviously just be rubble left, and I just like to imagine that's how the ad starts. It's just,
and that's not even the Cybertruck.
The Hummer dropping. It drops like 90,000 feet and then just completely implodes when it hits the ground. By a Hummer that's just rubble.
Someone should edit that and have it cut to the that really wide shot of a house exploding. It's like.
And the best part is the text. It says, "Do not attempt." It's it's one of the funniest commercials I've seen in a long time. It's such a good ad. Thank you, GM.
Yes.
So
Tesla doesn't spend any money on advertising, but
they do great for us. I will say, because it's Talos of EV. Recap of the year of EV. It's been a good year because we've seen Rivian now. They've met their thing. I'm really happy about that. We've seen more information with I say more than information, but Aptera. I've gotten more excited for Aptera than I would have been ever throughout this year. And we've seen in its own...
Lucid hit the 500-mile mark.
Lucid, man, hey, if luxury vehicles and paying that premium is your thing, then, I read the comments.
You should just get that, Nick.
There
if
you
you're
go.
going to spend $120,000.
That's
if you're going to spend $120,000.
Waste money.
You're looking for ways to waste your money.
What is the worst? Okay, hold on. Let's just stop the show for a second. What is the worst way to spend your money on EVs in 2021? All right, I just cut. Very funny,
3,
Randy.
2,
1.
What was your question?
Oh, I get it. I wasn't looking.
He said stop the show, so I said, all right, I just cut.
Randy's
I'm saying,
to be funny over here.
Are you asking what's the worst EV value?
Yeah, no, like if...
Nicola.
Okay, Nicola, sure.
Does Nicola even have a way for you to buy?
I don't think they do. You can just buy their stock. Buy $120,000 worth of Nicola stock.
Buy any amount of Nicola stock. I think I'm close to saying the Hummer.
Really? Okay.
But people really like it.
Like probably
Doug DeMero said it's the best electric truck.
Okay.
So it has to be true.
Yeah, we can't disagree with our Lord and Savior Doug, but it says a lot about
Sandy
how...
seems to think that
Sandy.
Nicola's great, so I don't know.
He only really talks about what he sees in front of him. So he saw promising stuff from Nikola, but I am not interested until they change the name. I think that's just embarrassing to associate yourself with Tesla like that. And also with Milton, I would just say, just drop the whole Nikola thing. He didn't do anything with hydrogen. It's...
Remember when they broke ground with the shovel, and then they just left it there?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And they all left the next
and then they all just left, and they went back, and there was nothing there.
There's still nothing there.
I'm sure there's some... Truck. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I thought they started building it, but I'm sure there's some legitimate engineers there, and maybe they're trying to pivot in the right direction, but it's really hard to forget all of the scammy stuff they did. So that's why I would say name change would be a great way to rebrand yourself.
They should rebrand themselves to a name with a lot less baggage, like Meta.
Hey, since Facebook is now not taken, just get Facebook Motors.
Face Motors. There you go.
Motor book.
Call it Hindenburg.
Oh,
we're going to talk about hydrogen. Hydrogen is a great form of transportation. So.
Oh God!
Oh the humanity.
Oh, the humanity.
Oh my gosh, Randy, I love.
It's been long enough now. Too soon.
Too soon. Yes.
Too soon. That joke is so September 10th.
Oh my gosh, Randy. How dare you defile the iPhone release date from a lot of years ago?
No, I'll be honest. Worst value. I'm tempted to say Hummer just because it's so dang expensive and it's probably the least efficient. It's a 200 kilowatt hour pack.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So charging that at Electrify America is going to be like, I'm pretty sure, more than gas.
Yeah.
Or close. But super inefficient, super expensive. So it's just value-wise, it's like, at least if you buy a Lucid, you're going to get like really long range. Again, it's expensive, but you're at least getting something that you can't really get elsewhere with this super long range. But the Hummer, it's like, okay, what are you getting that you can't get elsewhere? I guess removable roof. The bed isn't even that big. I mean, crab walk. Did you know there's no built-in air compressor?
No way, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
What did you ask, Randy?
Who drives a Hummer?
That's a even better question. And does that person care about the environment?
Yeah, someone who cares a lot about the environment. Exactly. Yeah.
Sounds like a very
why it's
insecure
such
person.
Ironic.
If you are catching my drift.
What drift are you catching there, Randy? Be more specific.
Are you ready? Okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I'm gonna make the last episode something you have to edit.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
No. Please don't.
All right, Drew said please. I'm not going to say it.
I can't think of anything else that would be of worse value. Okay. Take that with you.
Thank you.
Tag us on Twitter with your guesses.
Tag Randy on Twitter. Do not tag me on Twitter, please.
No, please tag Nick. I need you.
No.
Votes only count if you get Nick in the tweet as well.
No, thank you.
And the winner is the person that Nick acknowledges.
You know what?
Open up my Twitter notifications for the first time in a month and see nothing but phallic images.
I'll open my my answer to Nick's question even further. Basically, any EV from GM. Because you could buy a Bolt, but
they're leading the way.
They're leading the way in worst value.
Yeah, it's a wasted money.
Probably, I don't know, like.
But you get that Super Cruise.
I think
amazing.
The super expensive Mach-E's are kind of ridiculous to me. Because it's like, okay, you're not winning the performance argument because Teslas are still faster. And the screen and software is crappy. So to spend like $60,000, $70,000 on a Mach-E is like, what are you getting that you can't get elsewhere? That's all just like very expensive branding. You're not really, the range isn't better, the specs aren't better, the design might be what you're going for. Maybe it just looks cool and that's why you like it. But that's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say that Volkswagen Fit or something. That one's terrible.
ID Fit.
You only get like
about
100
the
miles.
IQ?
Is that still around?
Wait, the what?
No,
the IQ.
ID4, that one.
You're talking about
like the ID4. I would say if I had to recommend a non-Tesla to someone, ID4 would probably be up there on my list.
Okay.
Just because Rivian's really expensive, so that would obviously be, if money wasn't a factor, non-Tesla recommendation. I really like the Rivian. But if price is a factor, I know several people in my personal life that have gotten ID4s, and they all seem to love them. Like the drive is really smooth, the turning radius is really tight, the range is decent. It's not great, but it's the price is fairly low, and there seems to have been not too many dealer markups on them. So the people I know that got them seem to really appreciate them. The biggest compromise is, of course, the software, but I feel like it's kind of a compromise anytime you're not buying a Tesla. You're gonna, even Rivian has glitchy kind of laggy software.
You have to get
occasion,
a Tesla, if not for anything else, because of the network established already.
Mm-hmm.
I
the
can't
supercharging network is a really big selling point.
Tell anybody to not get it for that reason until
Yeah.
there's a Chevron to each shell equivalent.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
There's no comparing.
It's to me, it's not even about how many chargers there are. I think that's another thing. People are like, oh, there's more superchargers, so you got to get a Tesla. But it's also like the pricing. I did not understand that until I started plugging in the numbers and seeing what people pay for Electrify America sessions. I was like, oh, dang. This is like twice the price of supercharging. So that makes it far more affordable, even if you're paying the Tesla premium. And I found this Bolt or I found this ID4 for cheaper. It's like, they'll get their money back through the charging.
Yeah.
Whereas the supercharging savings are real, plus much faster, and there's more of them. So yeah, that's pretty dang strong argument. But ID4, I think the cheapest one starts at 40,000. I don't know how they've retained that price, considering the Model 3 doesn't even start at that anymore. Or maybe the dealer markups are higher on that one. I don't know. But it goes 270 miles or something like that. It's not bad. The specs aren't terrible. And I like the interior design for the most part. It's better than the Mach-E interior, that's for sure. But it's a decent option. I wouldn't do it, but it's decent.
Yeah.
Well,
honestly, the more I think about software and the tech, the more I'm like, why do I need a Model Y? I really like, why does it matter? Who cares if it has 4680 or not? I just like they're all great.
compared to your current
Part
vehicle.
of me just is like, oh yeah, anything but my current car is my mindset right now. But yeah, part of me is thinking, doing some of the math. Like we now know that all of the rear-wheel drive Model 3s have lithium iron phosphate batteries, and you can charge those to 100% daily. In fact, it's good to charge them to 100% daily. It's actually helps them. And if you are charging the long-range Model 3 or Y to 80% daily, the range you leave the house with most of the time is actually pretty much the same, which I think a lot of people don't know about. They don't realize that. They think, oh, long range, so I can go further. It's like, we need the range figure because it's helpful of measuring, efficiency and the battery size and everything. It's a useful metric, but I still think it's misunderstood a lot because we're used to range with our internal combustion engine minds, where we're thinking, oh, I drive until the car's empty and then I fill up again. Mm-hmm. And that's not how EVs are because of how batteries charge and because of how the first 50% is so fast. I'm plugging in all these routes of like, okay, I want to visit this family, I want to visit these friends, how long is it going to take? And I'll compare standard range to long range. And it's usually a difference of like an hour, sometimes less. Like to go to my parents' house out of state, it was something like 14 hours and 55 minutes on standard range, and then 14 hours and 9 minutes on long range. And I was like, so we think like, wow, 350, that's really far. That's a lot better than 270. And then when people hear that number, like, ooh, 270 miles, that's not that far compared to this and that. It's like you're still going to be taking breaks, for food, and the superchargers are placed there. And the amount of time they charge isn't until they get to 100. So the more I thought about it, I was like, does it really matter? Unless, of course, the pickup truck argument of like, I drive in the winter and I tow it. Okay, I get that. But for just like the road trip approach.
Mm-hmm. I think the only time I needed to charge to 100% on a road trip was because the next charging station was going to be that far out. And even then, it had me slated getting there at like 15%, and it likes to calculate buffer. So it will not route you to something that's the furthest that you can go from A to B. More so, where can you get your quickest charges at, and then send you on your way. So I'm not trying to go from like here to New York City and back, and then how many routes? It'll be like you're gonna stop in DC, you'll stop somewhere, in Pennsylvania, and then you're in New York. As opposed to, but technically I can make it all the way to the outskirts of New Jersey. Yeah, you could, and there's a charging station there, but it wants to give you that buffer. It does not ever calculate 100%. Very rarely will it do that. And that's like if you're driving somewhere in the Midwest and they don't have the same infrastructure set up out there at that point.
Yeah. It makes me really want the standard range Model Y to exist with LFP. And it makes me less interested in the high range options just because I'm growing more impatient every day, which isn't good with expensive purchases. You're not supposed to be like, just get it over with. Let's just do it. Let's just get it. Because we've been talking about it for so long and saving for it for so long. I'm just like, can we just get one ASAP, and not have to worry about it. But I still feel like I have to know what the Model Y plans are with Texas. I almost would rather them not be good just so that I can justify a Model 3 and just be like, okay, Y is too expensive. Let's move on. But I don't want to put an order in right before the factory comes online and they change up the lineup and stuff.
Sure.
So I'm trying to be patient, but having a hard time. I really just
you should fall
want
in
to
love
get it
with
over
a
with.
Cybertruck. It works wonders on your patience.
Sounds even more disappointing. Nick went from Cybertruck is the best to I'm worried about it to I don't need one. It's been this.
And I'm sure I'll be back
long,
to I'm worried
depressing
about it to I need one fairly soon. So
I think some time off.
As soon as deliveries start.
As soon as I see one in Starbase, like that's gonna I cannot wait for that day. Every morning I wake up hoping that Elon will bring his toy down to Starbase and I can be the first.
Yeah,
one
if we're just sitting at
that would be cool.
I'm kind of like you. I'm kind of like you in that way. If I'm just sitting at a spreadsheet and I'm looking at finances and taxes and income, you go, man, that Tesla's a lot of money. It just doesn't really make sense. And I think we could just wait. The current car's fine. So you go, okay, fine. We'll pay off of other things and focus on that. But then you get in one, and then your mind's like, why don't I deserve this? Why shouldn't I? It's
I can
like
afford
Frodo in the ring.
$1,200 a month for the next 5.5 years.
It's like Frodo in the ring. He's just like, why shouldn't I? I need this precious. Yeah, my precious. So it's like, that's how I am. Pretty much any EV I've sat in, I've been like, yeah, I could live with this. I could get by. This is. Every EV I've tried is better than my current car. So
it's not something that you justify on paper. It's something that you feel.
Yeah, it's a heart decision. It's like, my heart wants this. My wallet doesn't, but my heart wants this. Yeah, that's kind of the boat I'm in. Because when we went to the showroom a few months ago, just because we were trying to burn time, I was like, yeah, let's go to the Tesla showroom. We checked out the new Y with the new interior. That was the first time I saw the new center console, and I was like, oh, nice, this is cool. It's got the chargers and everything. And they had the people always, the AC was fixed like a year ago, but the joke
USB-C. Sorry, Drew. USB-C.
Oh, USB-C, sorry. I thought you said the AC in my car doesn't. But
you made such a big deal about the AC, so
You were. I love the fact that when you got in the Model 3, you were just like not wowed by the technology or the center screen. You're just like, it's cold in here.
It was. Well, it's something I still bring up. Like, my wife and I make the same joke every time we get in the car when it's hot or cold. We're always like, man, I look forward to not having that problem in the future, and we can just turn it on before we get in. Or my key fob doesn't work, so every time we go up to the car, I have to unlock it with the physical key, and she's sitting there on the passenger side waiting, and I'm like, sorry, one sec. Then I got to open it, and our car doesn't have an audio jack or Bluetooth, so I had to buy like a Bluetooth FM transmitter.
Oh, cool.
It connects to the radio through my phone, but then there's always other frequencies that show up and distort it, and we'd be driving on a road trip and we're listening to music, and then you start and you can't hear anything, and I'm just like, this is what I'm looking forward to not having. This won't be a problem anymore. But then at that showroom, they had the new Model 3, which I hadn't seen before, the 2021 version with the lift gate and the Chrome delete, and I was like, oh, I guess we haven't looked at the new Model 3. Let's try that. And I sat inside that, and I was like, yeah, I could do this. This is fine. This is like 90% the exact same thing. I'm just a little lower to the ground. But yeah, part of me is like, let's just buy it.
Soon.
Now. Let's go.
Soon.
Let's
TM.
go.
Soon.
I know.
Soon.
Trying to be
2
patient.
weeks.
I'm hoping this is the last EV podcast finale where I don't have one.
Ooh!
That would be nice.
Someday.
Hoping.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Who knows?
2
You
weeks.
have one in 2 weeks.
Our 2 weeks. Our primary goal is next year. It's like, let's just do what we got to do to get it next year, and it's just a matter of what we're willing to compromise on. That's really all that matters. Dang, Hertz buying all the Model 3s up.
Bottom all up. Dang it.
Yeah.
We thought, I don't even know when deliveries are. They've taken away all the estimated figures.
Yep. Oh, well.
Hopefully there's a bunch of people that delay their order because of the tax credit. They're like, well, it's about to pass next month. And then they, we're going to be saying that next year. December 2022. I think they're about to pass the tax credit.
Yeah.
I've been delaying my order for 3 years waiting for this tax credit to kick in.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Well, it's been a good
Well,
season.
Hopefully 2022 is better.
Yeah.
This was a good first season. I'm not
This
sure
not
what
season.
we're calling it.
This is our second one.
Second one?
We did it last year.
We didn't take a break, though, did we? I don't think we took a break. Well, this is
No,
still
I know.
branded
Is
as
this
the
not a
first one.
season?
This is not branded as the first one. This is branded as the second one.
Oh, okay. I made this show, and I don't know what we branded it, so whatever this is, it was a good
Oh
one.
yeah, no, you went with the neon lights 2021, and then it was like the flat.
You're right. There used to be
Artwork.
the Cybertruck intro, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Forgot about that. Yeah. Okay. All right. So
it has been 2 years.
Season Model 3. Model 3 will be here before you know it.
Model 3 will come back in January.
Oh, you could do a model with the 3 lines. You should do that. Season 3.
I like it.
I like it
I'm
too.
about that.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Have a good rest of your year. We love you.
Thanks for listening.
Some of you.
Hanging out with all of us.
Bye.
Bye.